Hi everyone, it's Sue, and for my first creative team project for the Auntie Vera Scrap and Craft shop, online shop, is I'm going to make a ring bound journal. Now, the things that you're going to need some rings and some eyelets, and you must make sure that obviously the rings fit through the eyelets. Don't fuss too much about the join part, because when you open it, that sort of moves anyway. I've also got the Farmhouse Market papers from Cartabella. The ones I've got are Barn Floral, Wreaths, Tags and Lovely Floral. They're the ones that I chose. I also have a piece of chipboard. This was the packaging from something. You could use any sort of cardboard that you have. If you've got a thin cardboard, you may want to reinforce it a little bit, maybe 2 layers together, something like that. The other things I've got some pieces of cream coloured or ivory coloured cardstock. I've also got some little bags. These are treat bags. These are just from the cheapy shop, and also these ones as well, more like a coin envelope. You can use whatever bags you like, as long as they are going to fit into the sort of confines of the cover. Now I'm going to do mine roughly a 5 size, which is, let's have a look, 15 centimeters by, maybe a start at the 0 might help, by 21 centimeters. Now in inches, that would be 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. Okay, now let's see. I'm just hoping that the papers will be wide enough for 2. Yep, perfect, good. And just checking this as well. Yep, okay. Now the covers should be a little bit bigger. So I'm looking at this thinking I should be able to get 2, but I may end up having to cut down my the A5 size pages. I'm thinking that would probably work. Yeah, so I think my next job would be to cut this in half. I think if I cut that in half, let's just have a look. Okay, yeah, if I cut it in half, I'm still going to have to do a bit of trimming on my papers, but that's fine. Now you can use whatever cutter you prefer. I prefer a blade and ruler, just because that's, I don't know, I find that so much easier than the trimmers. So I'm thinking, let's have a look. Alright, it's just past 30, so I'm thinking I'll cut 15 centimeters width, but I'm thinking height-wise, let me see, where did we, it's 21, so I'm thinking I might go with 22. So just turn my mat around a little bit so I can actually cut 22. Zoom out a little bit for this. When I cut the thicker pieces, I do take it easy and I do multiple cuts. Rather than try and do it all in one, I try to do it in, you know, a couple more. I find it cuts easier than that. Alright. Now, 15 I said, so okay, so that is 15 by 22. So I am going to have to trim down my ivory cardstock a little bit, which doesn't really worry me. Just trim this a little bit extra off here to make it the same size. Okay, now what I am going to do is with that small piece, this small piece here, I'm actually going to make a piece that is going to be the template for the holes. So it was 22, so I'm just going to cut this down to 22. Okay, so we have the two covers, back and front, and a small piece that I'm going to use as a stencil. Right, so the next step is to, just move that, is to cover the covers. So, let me see, where did I put those papers? Right next to me. Okay, I'm thinking, now I don't think I'm going to, I want this one for the front, but I don't think that one piece is going to be enough to cover both, which is unfortunate. I mean, look, you could make your cover smaller so that it does. Actually, it would actually. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm actually not going to use that for back and front. The back will be a different one. What I am going to do is cut this at the 22 right across, and I have to turn my mat again. Okay, now what I've done, I've cut that down to 22, and what I'm going to do is actually wrap this around and hope it actually fits. Now in theory it should, yes it will. Okay, so I will cut the second one down to 22, which is the back, which I decided was going to be this pinky gingham one. Much to my annoyance, I'm losing some of these tags, but that is the way it is. Suggestion, if you're going to buy the papers to make something like this, buy 2 lots of everything, because they really are very pretty. I am actually hoping that I'm able to use some from the other side, but I have a feeling probably not. Oh yes, I'll be able to use those ones. Awesome. I do like it when that works out for me. Excellent. Alright, now going to need to score through the middle, and of course you can use your scoring board if you have one, and I do have one, and I very rarely use it because I cannot be bothered getting it out when I can just simply do that. And I can also use this. I find that so much quicker than bothering to get the scoreboard out. I guess if you're being pedantic and want certain scoring lines, yes, you could do it, but by the time I get it out, no, I can't be bothered. Okay. So, what will happen is that will slip in like so, and it will be then sitting like that, so that it opens. Well, it won't open, but that's how it will sit. So this will be your rough edge, and this will be your nice smooth outside edge. Okay. Okay, once you've done that, you've popped the card, the chipboard inside, you can then either sew around the edge, or you can just simply glue them. I'm thinking I might actually sew them around the edge. So yeah, I think I might just glue it, just a little bit of glue to keep it in place, and then, and bearing in mind it does actually go that way, so I must remember that. So that means, to me, that paper's upside down, so it needs to go that way. Okay, and I'll just glue those in place. Just a little bit of glue to hold them. Try to butt the card, the chipboard, right up into the corner or the edge of the fold. And of course, I guess if you used a scoring scoreboard, you could do 2 scores for that, but yeah. Okay, just enough to hold it. Okay. Alright, I shall just go off camera and be right back when I have sewn around those edges. Alright, that's the 2 covers. So I don't know if you'll be able to see the stitching. I did zigzag and I did use a cream coloured cotton so that it didn't stand out too much. So that is, as I said, the front and back cover. Now, pop those to one side. The pages, what I will do, I'm just going to, these are pretty much as they are until you embellish them. So, depending on how they fit into the cover, okay, now they do fit, but actually no, I think they'll be fine. Okay, so don't need to do anything to those unless of course you have to cut those down, and as I think I mentioned, they are 21 by 21 by 21, 21 by just below 15. So just cut those to fit inside. Alright, so I might leave those to one side. Now, of course, you can put as many pages in as you like. That's entirely up to you. Now, the other thing is the little bags. What we're going to do is, obviously, if you put holes in those like that, it's going to be a little flimsy and you're going to lose some of your bag. So we're actually going to put an extra piece on here that extends it slightly. Now, don't want to make it too big because obviously it's going to stick out of the cover, unless of course, again, if you like that. But I don't actually, not for the bags anyway. So I'm going to choose one of these. Ooh, I think I might choose the green on this side. Yeah, I think I'll just use the plainer one. And what I'm going to do is cut some strips that we're going to use on the sides. Now this idea I did see on Wendy's Journal Adventures YouTube channel a very long time ago. If I remember, I will link the video in the description box, but from memory it was probably at least 12 months ago. And there was more than one video. She did it over like as a series of videos. So I will try to link one if I remember. If I don't, if you go to her channel, I'm sure that you will find it. So looking at the size I need, now it's up to you if you want to keep this little top bit here, or if you want to, I think Wendy folded hers down, or you can chop it off. This is entirely up to you. I'm going to leave it, and I need my strip to be about 20 centimetres. So I'm going down the page. I think I prefer the down. And what I might do is just take this off for the moment. Oops, that didn't go very straight, did it? Oh well, never mind. Okay, and what I might do is actually use that side because I think there's going to be an offcut anyway. So I'm thinking now, I do need it wide enough to fold over, and it doesn't have to be too wide. So that's about 2 centimeters. So I'm thinking 6 centimeters wide. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be there. Right, I'm only going to do one on camera because I think once I've done one, you'll be able to figure out how to do the second one. All right, and again, you could use your scoring board, and in fact, I might actually for this one because it is narrow and I do want it straight. Where is my scoring board? Here we go. I find this really annoying, I have to be honest with you. Oops. Okay. So, of course, the centimetres are down the bottom and there's no 6, but I need 3. And I always find they never quite line up. Don't know whether it's this one or whether it's all scoreboards. 3 I said, so it'll have to be there. And of course I just moved it. Yep, see, it doesn't line up. I don't know whether it's me or not, but it doesn't line up. Alright. Okay. Alright, it doesn't matter because what you're going to do is stick it onto the little paper bag like that. Now I just want to make sure it actually fits in. If I glue about 1 centimetre, yes it should. Okay, I'm going to use tape, I think. Double-sided tape. Roughly about there, I think. Let's just have a look. Yep, good guessing. And we'll do a couple. Okay. I am thinking I might do some gluing as well if my art glitter glue decides to work. Nope. Every single time I come to use it, no matter what bottle it's in, it doesn't. So we'll use this instead. I really like the art glitter glue. It's great glue, but gee, it irritates me when it doesn't come out the bottle easily. I'm a very impatient crafter, I've discovered. Now, as I said, about 1 centimetre in. So probably about there. And lining it up from the top. Trying to get it straight. Get rid of those. And then just simply cut that bit off. Alright, so that is another one. So you do that with both of your packets. Now, probably you will find Oh no, that works. Okay. You could actually trim this little bit here, I think, to match the other side. Smaller scissors might be better. Okay, so just trim that little bit like that. Make sure there's no sticky there either. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, so you do that with the two of those, and the same with this one, except that I'm thinking, I wonder how it would go if I made, ooh, yes, I like that idea. I'm actually going to do them so that they're like that. So this one's going to require a little bit more thinking, because those two will need to be together, like so. Still do the border there, or the edge, but I'm thinking we're going to have to do something here to stop them sort of flapping around a little bit. Probably just a piece of paper on there, it'll hold it in place. A decorative, something decorative. That's what we'll do. So let's have a look. This is the other paper I chose. So I'm wondering if something like that. The only thing is, if we do it like that sort of a thing, you effectively might as well just use this as a pocket, which to me, I see that as a bit of a waste. But if we put just a piece in the middle, that's a different story. So I'm going to use, I'm wondering, did we have a border in any of the other papers? Let me just have a look. Alright, what I've decided, I'm going to use, just take that out of the way, I'm actually going to use this piece. I like to try to use all the pieces to the best I can. Could possibly use that side, but I think I will use, actually no, I'm going to use this side for the edge here, because the off piece is going to be a pocket. So let me see. I'm thinking, okay, so that's right, I need to work out whether, okay, now these are going to stick out a little bit, so I think I'm happy with that because they look like tabs. So that means that this strip is going to go right on the edge of those. So it probably only needs to be about 4 centimetres in length, in width, and in length 18 centimetres. So I'm going to cut the strip off the side first. Now I'm going to cut it 18 centimetres. Okay, and it was 4 centimetres. 4 centimetres wide. And I'm going to actually use this to score it because I want it in half. So these will sit like so. Alright, I'm only going to use glue for these, I think. Try to get them fairly straight. Alright, so that leaves it like that. Now, to me, that would be a little annoying, so what I'm going to do with this little piece here, I think I will make a little pocket or something to sit on here. So, and maybe you may need to use something a little stronger than a glue stick, because I've just noticed that's coming up, because this paper is thick and the envelope could also have a bit of a some sort of a surface on there that doesn't use like the glue stick. Alright, so I'm thinking what I might use, make a pocket type of thing like so. Now, as I said, if you cover, you could cover the whole thing, but to me that defeats the purpose of having the colour of those. So I'm thinking maybe just a small pocket like so, just to hold those two in place. And what I might do is actually sew that around. Thinking that's a little bit too wide, so just going to trim them a little bit. And we can do some more embellishing as well. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around and sew these, but before I do, I think I'll round the corners. Might be a bit thick. Alright, so now I'm going to sew right the way around. No, I don't think I will. I'll just sew right around there, and that will make a pocket that will be glued onto there like so. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm thinking I can just attach that to there. Now, I was going to use the glue stick, but I'm really not now. I think I might use the double-sided tape. Now, I could do this in a variety of ways. I could glue the whole thing or attach the whole thing down. I could leave this side open so that it is another tuck spot, but I'm not sure how that will go with that join here, unless of course we embellish the other side, which is highly likely. So the other option is to leave the top open, which I think I probably will, so that will make it as another tuck spot. Yep, I'm happy with that. So I need some double-sided tape wherever I have just put it. It must be here somewhere. There it is. So I'm leaving the top open. And I might just pop a little second row on the bottom here. Now just overlapping that edge there a little bit. Alright, so that is another pocket. Now the only thing is you've got to remember we've got to put holes in there, so possibly no more than what I've put it there. Okay. Okay, next step is to put the holes in all the pieces that you're going to use. So that's why we cut this little strip here, so that we could use it as a template. And I am going to write T at the top for top, so I don't get it mixed up. Now I'm only going to use 2 rings. You could use more if you like, it's up to you. Now I'm thinking if I can see where I have done with. Now my crocodile, oops, here we go. I'm going to use the larger hole because I think these require the larger hole. Yep, larger hole. Yep, good. Okay, now where to put them? I am thinking probably, I'm actually looking for a pencil right now, there we go. I'm actually thinking probably closer to the ends, top and bottom, would be better. So maybe 2 centimetres down. So that would be 2 centimetres from either end. And in, let me have a look how far that goes in. That goes in quite a way, but bearing in mind, check this. If I put that as far in as it goes, it's going to overlap my pocket. So it's going to have to go maybe 1 centimetre in. Now, depending on the eyelets you've got too, mine are only tiny. These ones are flower ones. I'm not sure if I'm using the flower ones yet, but I have flower ones. So they're only small, so they're not going to take a lot of room. But it's looking like 1 centimetre in would be the maximum that I could go because I put the pocket there. Okay, so that's fine. Now, bearing in mind if that's the top, this is the back cover. In 1 centimetre from this edge here. Alright, so I'm going to draw a line with the ruler. Okay, so there's no mistaking where I actually want the holes. Alright, so line that up. Alright, now the next step, I just want to double check before I get too carried away. Alright, now that's the other thing too. Because this is smaller, the holes are not going to fit, so that's got me, okay, that's a problem. Okay, so the holes are actually going to have to be further in than I initially would have liked. Now let me just find one of those pockets that I did. Where's the other pocket? There it is. They're about the same, I think. Yep, okay, so this one's the smallest one. So use this one, use your shortest one as your guide. Okay, so going in 2 centimetres is not going to be enough. So I'm thinking three, I think maybe 4, just to be on the safe side. So make sure you check that first, preferably before you actually cut those holes, because that way you won't get yourself mixed up and confused. And so that I don't accidentally use them, I'm actually going to put some washi tape over the top of those, just to make sure I don't use them. You know, at the moment I remember not to use them, but you never know. You never know what will happen. Something may distract me and I'll forget, and that will be it. So, and I don't really want to use 4 rings. Okay, so let's repeat that again. Line those up, punch the holes. Alright, double check again that they fit. Yes, much better. Okay, so in that case you can start punching the holes in all of them. Preferably line this up so it's sort of central. Line it up on the edge, and I'm just going to actually just do this on all of my pockets. Now, of course, you can make as many pockets as you like. It depends on what you're going to use your journal for. Make sure you get this the right way up. My journal is actually going to be more of a, not a notebook, but more of a record of vintage stores. I like to go and visit the vintage stores or the bazaars, or I think a lot of them in Australia we have mill markets, those kind of places. So what my plan is to, when I visit them, is to make a note of each one, the address and the sort of things that they had, whether I thought they were, you know, reasonably priced, whatever, and make notes and keep it in here so that next time I'm planning a little trip somewhere to do some vintage shopping, I can actually go, yeah, I don't think I'll bother with that one this time, or at least I'll be able to remember where they all are. Okay, of course, remember to do your pages as well, and I'm actually going to clip those together and do them all in the one. And of course, the good thing about doing it this way is you can add pages as you need them, which is why I sort of thought this was a great way of doing the journal for what I wanted, the purpose I wanted. And the pockets and things, I'll be able to pop in business cards or you know, pamphlets, brochures, anything like that that I collect along the way. And of course, again, I can always add more pockets if I need to, so that will be good also. Alright, so then it's just a matter of punching holes in all of them. Now it's up to you whether you put eyelets in every single page. Realistically, if you're going to add a lot of pages, may not be feasible. It might just be a good idea just to do the covers, or and your pockets maybe. It's up to you. Because I plan on adding quite a few pages, I probably won't do the pages. I think the pockets I will, because they'll need a little bit more reinforcement, because they'll end up possibly being quite heavy. The pages themselves, you could use just normal reinforcers as well, the type you get from the newsagents. And of course, or you can make them yourself. You could actually make them out of the leftover bits of paper. That would be quite nice. And they're simple to make. You just really need a circle larger than the circle, the hole that you punch, and then just stick it down. Alright, so okay, so now let me see what ones we're going to use. I do quite like the flower ones actually, so maybe I will use the flower ones. Should have enough, so yeah, I think I will. This is going to take me a little while because I'm not an expert at this and it is fiddly for me, so I'll go off camera I think and do it, and I will be back. Okay, I've done that. Now what I did with the back cover is I actually did that so that the flower, the outer part, see if I can get that close enough, is on the outside, so that because it's a cover. So okay, now the next step is simply to just put your rings on, and then of course decorating. Now I'm thinking I'll have a couple of pages, and I will probably add some more pages, and I will put some reinforcers on here, and then a pocket, and then another couple of pages, and I think I might need a few more pages for sure, and then another pocket, maybe this pocket, another couple of pages, which I'll do in a second, and then pop that on. Okay, I've put it all together. Now to me these rings are a little bit too big, but what I'm thinking is I can swap them out for smaller ones, or I can wait till the journal fills up a little bit more. But this is what it looks like so far. So we've got a couple of pages, then we've got pockets or the paper bag, couple more pages, the double pockets, a couple more pages, another paper bag pocket, a couple more pages, and the back cover. So it can be added to as I need to. I can put more pockets, I can put more pages, that's all good. Now the front cover, what I'm thinking is I might just take it off the rings to decorate, and what I'm thinking of using are some of the chipboard pieces. So I'll just pop that to one side. Okay, now because it is vintage, there's that one there which is Vintage Market. Collectibles, another one I could use. And actually I quite like that too. So let's have a look. Okay, now, so I'm thinking I could pop that across the bottom actually. There's a little like drawers. And I'm thinking maybe something here with some of the other smaller elements, the vintagey sort of elements. But I think I need something on there, so I'm thinking maybe a piece cut here of this one. Definitely this one, it's too busy, this one. I do also have this piece here with the wood grain, which actually might look quite nice. A piece cut out of the wood grain. Right, I'll be back when I've figured out what I'm going to do. Alright, I have found a little frame die that I'm thinking might work. So I'm going to go off camera because it's just my cutting things too far away from my camera. And I'm going to cut a piece out of the middle of this sheet. Yeah, I'll be back. Okay, that did work out quite well. Now I'm just debating whether to pop it. No, I think it has to go that way. It just does. Now I do have these flowers which I was hoping to use, but where is the, and I still would like to use some of these. So let's have a look. How can we do this? I really hope this video isn't going too long. These are very pretty. Very, yeah, I like these. Too much, I think. Maybe, no, I like the difference in that one. I kind of like having three, so I might have to have a look and see if I have a third that I can put, because I think three of these would be too much. Now let's have a look at these. Thinking, not that I want to stick it down right now, but something maybe tucked in somewhere like that. Yep, for sure. So I think I need to find another flower, and then, oh, this one's nice too. That might look nice in there. Yep, okay. Right, I'll go and get another flower and we'll glue those down. Alright, now I've grabbed out a few bits and pieces. Now I was thinking that I would colour these, the flowers, but I actually quite like them that colour, and yeah, I don't think I will have anything that would really totally go. This one, I need to have a look at the colour. Let me just spray it on something. Just move those out of the way. And those. Okay. So that's the colour. So it is a very light pink. So potentially that could go. I'm thinking might give it a go on this one. So let's have a look. We need something to lean on that's not going to get ruined. Just a bit of old envelope. Now I don't know how this will work. It says shake well side to side before using to ensure the dye, Spray directly on porous surfaces for quick, easy coverage. Mist, clean nozzle after each use. Okay, let's give it a go. So side to side. Oh, the temptation to up and down is incredible. Okay, now we probably shouldn't do it on my desk with everything here, but right, let's have a look. Now I'm going to have to let that dry, so let's just have a look. I think it will work. Alright, I might have to come back, leave that to dry and come back, I think. So I'll be back when that's dry. Okay, it actually dried fairly quickly with a heat tool, so just got to be careful with the glue that it doesn't melt, that's glued them together, that's stuck them together. Okay, what I'm going to do, which I forgot to do before, is I'm going to just stress the edges of at least my cover and this little frame embellishment, because I think that needs doing. This one is the walnut stain that I got with my pack. It's a little bit darker than the vintage photo, and I just fancied something a bit darker. It is considerably darker actually, so just being a little careful that it's not too much. I will do the backs of just the back cover later. Alright, so now that was like that was like so, and I'm thinking one of these little ones in there as well. Fill that space because I like 3. Now I'm also thinking probably should stick that down, so I'm going to use craft glue for it all because well, I want it all to stick. Now it's not central, it's more to the one side so that there's room for the flowers. Now hopefully the craft glue will be strong enough to hold them down. What I tend to do is put the glue on those bottom petals and then push those down. Might actually have to put a bit more for that one. This one will be easier because it's flatter. Okay, now I think I may end up having to glue that a little bit more, that one. Alright, now I'm thinking, I did like this little thing here, so I'm thinking I'm going to just tuck that just so it can be seen. And I did like this vintage one here, so I'm thinking we might have that tucked under like so. Oh, I do like that. What else have we got? We've got some very tiny little flowers, but I think they might be a little small, so we might just, oh, I'll just pull that hole off the backing. That's alright, we'll just put some glue. It's a bit too enthusiastic there. Possibly might be a good idea to put glue anyway, I'm thinking. Oh, I was going to put these across the bottom, but I'm thinking, no, I don't think I want to anymore. Oh, I do want to put this one, the little collectible one. So maybe, whoops, no, don't stick. And what I probably will do is actually write the title of my journal there. Haven't actually thought of what the title's going to be. It might be Vintage Finds, Vintage Places, something like that, but I'm thinking it's going to go there. So that's the cover. I'll just quickly pop it together. Now, of course, a lot of the pages can be embellished if you choose. I will probably embellish them along the way, but for the sake of the length of this video, it's probably not a good idea today. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you got some ideas from there. As I said, no, I probably haven't said, but all the things that I've used, apart from the little paper bags and my own chipboard and cardstock, are all available from Auntie Vera Scrap and Craft. And of course, because they are part of the design team June release, you get a discount. So certainly worth checking into, because they are really lovely papers. If you're into floral stuff, they are beautiful. Okay, and provincial stuff too. All right, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.